What are the top 5 mistakes at IGCSE and how can you avoid them? Having marked hundreds of these papers and discussed from colleagues all over the world, I've come up with the definitive top 5 mistakes to avoid. But not only that, for each mistake I've got practical tips to help you avoid the minefield of potential traps that is an IGCSE business exam. So let's get started. Number 1, running out of time. Time is money or marks in exams. It's really tempting to spend more time on the questions that you feel more confident with, or run out of time as you want the perfect answer in every question. But there's only a maximum amount of marks you can get in each question, and there's a much greater opportunity cost to running out of time, not finishing the paper, and only getting 70 or 80% of all the possible marks in the paper. It's roughly just 1 minute per mark in both paper 1 and paper 2 when you take away 10 minutes for reading. To keep yourself on track, you can write down the time you begin and when you should finish the question on your paper. Calculation questions can use up a lot of valuable time, so skip these and leave them to the end if you don't feel confident that you can answer them within your time limit. And don't forget your watch. It could be a long way from the clock in the exam hall. This is the TikTok version. Number 2, writing down what you know rather than what the examiner wants to know. You've crammed for the past 3 days non-stop to get ready for this business studies exam. It feels like your head is going to explode with the information. You make it to the exam just in time. The exam starts and you spill all the information onto the page. You fail the exam. Why does this happen? Well, it's not just about learning all the information on the course, it's about using the information to answer the questions that are on the exam. As an examiner, I've lost count of the amount of times students write down page after page of information which is all correct but doesn't answer the question. Distract yourself. 5 or 10 minutes before the exam, take yourself away from all the other students talking themselves into a frenzy about how much they've studied. Did you study this? I studied that. Did you know this? Do you know what that is? It could be a crossword puzzle. It could be doing a headstand. It could be the trick Matthew McConaughey uses, which became the famous scene in Wolf of Wall Street. Whatever it is, think about something else, relax, and go into the exam clear-headed. You'll be able to read the question and give the answer the examiner wants rather than just regurgitating all the information you've learned onto the page. Number 3, not using the correct exam technique. Exams are probably not the best way of assessing how competent students are in business, but they are the easiest way of making an international qualification accessible to students all over the world in a way that's fair for all students, no matter where you are. To make it fair, the examiners need to have clear guidelines on what makes one answer better than another. The mark schemes the examiners use are therefore this key to high grades. If you know the exact ingredients of what to put in each answer, examiners will award you top grades. Seems simple, right? However, a huge amount of papers I mark seem to miss these essential ingredients. And it seems more like good luck or a complete random event if students score high marks in a question. The solution to scoring high marks in every question is to find out how the exams are marked. Check out the mark schemes, what you have to do to be awarded marks in each type of question. For Cambridge Business exams, I've tried to make this as simple as possible. You can find tutorials on all the different types of questions in the description below, or you can go to CAIEbusiness.com to find past papers, questions, solutions, and interactive online courses designed specifically for Cambridge International Business. Number 4, failing to plan is planning to fail. Okay, I know that is the world's worst cliche, but I see so many students figuring out the answers to questions as they write, and this often means the students repeat the same points, and they don't include the most important information, which ultimately leads them to getting less marks on an answer and also spending too much time getting bogged down in one answer rather than getting on to the next one. So the solution is to spend a few moments to figure out what the question is asking you and think about how you're going to structure your answer and what information to include. Generally, the longer the question, the longer planning time you should have. So I go with about 10% on planning, but it varies from person to person. A lot of how you plan depends on how the question should be answered. So for shorter answered structured questions on paper 1, you just need a point for, point against, and your evaluation. For 12-mark paper 2 questions, spend some time thinking through the advantages and disadvantages of each option before you start, and also why your recommendation will be the best for the long-term success of the business. Number 5, don't forget the application. Okay, I know you've heard this a million times before from me, probably your teacher as well, probably your friends, and I know I say it all the time, but that's because students forget to use application all the time. This especially happens as students go through a paper and they get to maybe question 3 or 4, nearly finish the exam, getting tired, and they just want to finish the exam, but they forget to put down the application. To make sure you do use the context and application in every question, refer back to the case study before answering each part of the question. Don't make the examiner go hunting for application. Now I really can't find it here. I know it's got to be here somewhere, but as you can see with this 12-mark question, even with limited analysis, you can only score a maximum of 4 marks out of 12. To get top marks, you must analyse the different factors in context and make a recommendation in context. If you want to check out an IGCSE Paper 1 survival guide, go here. And if you want to see a guide to evaluation on IGCSE, click over here. If you've enjoyed the video, share the love, give me a thumbs up, comment and subscribe for weekly videos to drive you to success in business IGCSE and A-level. And if you really want to take your learning to the next level, head to caiebusiness.com.